welcome to Real Flix Reviews Movie News. This week we have Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston.
The man who would be queen.
So the question we have for you today is, what cartoon, comic / anime would you like to see made live action? Also, who would you like to play the lead? And while you're contemplating this, we're going to jump straight into movie news. John Wick 2 director Chad Stahelski on taking Alien's approach to the sequel of John Wick 2. So apparently he's going to be stuck in a time capsule for years.
You know,
did you like John Wick?
I did.
I really loved
kind
it.
of thought it was just an average character in Keanu Reeves' day.
Fuck
you know,
you, they killed his dog, James.
I get that, but you know what I'm saying, though? It's just like I've seen him play this role a billion times.
There's nothing more needed of that role. They killed his dog.
But it feels like they're trying to do Payback, but Keanu Reeves.
Now, see, to me, this had a little bit different because in Payback, Mel Gibson had...
He wanted his, what, $90,000?
No, it was like 75 or
Yeah, something.
I don't know. It feels different. For one, this isn't gritty. This is... I would say Mel Gibson had more emotion. John Wick just turned off and said, okay, I'm killing all you guys, and shenanigans happened.
I understand.
My favorite part of John Wick is still when you had the guy call from the body shop, you know, the lead guy is saying, I heard you slap my son. It's like,
John Leguizamo. Hell yeah.
And he said, yes, sir, but there's a reason. They killed John Wick's dog and stole their car. And you just see the guy close the phone and you see his face go, oh. The lead up to his character is my favorite part. It really is. Because you get to see like how everybody is really scared of John Wick. And he's driving an old car and loving on a dog. It's just like, apparently there's a hitman retirement.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you get out of it soon enough and everything's fine. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to see more of the films. I'm just saying it's just one of those that it's been done.
But that's pretty much of all the movies we actually review.
Pretty much, I understand. But you get what I'm saying?
No, I
want
get it.
Something more.
No,
yeah, but okay, look, I get what you're saying about it's been done. But one, I like the simple mission statement of the movie, like they killed the wrong guy's dog.
I do too. I like the simple story every now and then.
The it's been done thing. It's been done with fucking Steven Seagal. You know, they fucked with the wrong cook on a ship.
The wrong fat man. They
fucked with the wrong conductor on a train, whatever dumbass character that he plays.
Yeah, but I'm not a big fan of Steven Seagal.
No,
neither am I. So it's been done by shitty fucking versions of this movie.
And my thing is, every time they come out, like Under Siege and this movie, they
Shallow Walkers
and what was it, Rambo? It scratches an itch. You just want a simple action movie with simple reasons for doing things.
Yeah, like you killed the wrong guy's dog. Every guy can relate to that.
It's seriously. I mean,
I don't have people going around killing my dogs.
Yeah, I know. But imagine if someone killed your mom's dog. She would go John Wick on somebody.
No, she'd sick the other dogs on him. No, I'm really looking forward to John Wick. I'm not a giant fan of Keanu. He has done movies that to me are not only classics, but it's just good movies. Speed was one for me. The first one that I can always watch. The first John Wick. There's a ton of movies of his I actually like. Are they great movies? Yeah, that's debatable.
Point Break fan?
I like Point Break.
Yeah.
I want to watch the new one. I just haven't gotten the gumption to force myself to.
And I think he's also a fan of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
The first one. The second one sucked.
You don't like Bogus?
Whoa. Let's not get into an argument here.
The funniest part is we were old enough to see it in theaters, and he was still in his high chair at the time. So Donald Glover has been cast as young Lando Calrissian in the upcoming Han Solo Star Wars standalone film.
You know, Charney, if we're gonna do a movie review show, you can't piss off the nerds. Lando Calrissian.
Hey, that's my shtick, and I'm sticking to it.
Do I know this guy? Donald Glover?
He's, you know,
Donald Glover,
he's been around a lot.
He was in The Martian.
I don't.
no, he wasn't. Oh yeah, he was in The Martian.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy who kind of figured some stuff out.
Yeah, he was
needed a lot
the
of copy.
smart kid.
He's been
He
in
was in Community for a long time. The internet wanted him to play Spider-Man. He's got an alter hip hop ego called Childish Gambino. He's a fucking funny guy.
And so, what do you guys actually think about the spin-off movies of having a Han Solo and in all of these?
I'm good with it because there's a lot of universe and there's a lot of time that these characters spend away from each other. You know, so it's a lot of ground being kind of left untilled. You know.
See, the Boba Fett one I'm game for. This one I'm not as excited for, but Han Solo has such a rich history just by watching the films. You want to see how he became that way.
Well, hell yeah, he's a space pirate. You know, and so was Lando Calrissian, and apparently, you know, he won the Millennium Falcon from Lando. You know, fair and square.
What if
Well, Lando also won it for... Did he steal it or win it? I think
Well,
Lando
no, he
stole it.
kind of piloted it during the attack on the second Death Star.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying how Lando got it initially. I think he
Oh,
stole
stole
it
it
I
from
don't remember.
I think he stole it from somebody.
Now, what if they made a Yoda side, you know, standalone movie, like Yoda in his younger years type of thing?
I'd be down with that, but I mean, that's like 400 years
Yeah,
after.
yeah. I mean, see, that's the thing is they'd have to just straight up do like an Old Republic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
kinda-
want an
kinda-
Old Republic film.
Well, on the fortunate, you'll get that closer, and you will get the Star Trek movie you want.
Screw you, Star Trek.
What are you gonna
I'll
tell
slap
him?
you, J.J. Abrams.
You're gonna tell
I
him what
slap
you
you.
want?
I'll slap you.
Besides,
Wait, why are we angry at Star Trek?
Because they haven't done the Neogenics War.
Oh Jesus.
Well, I actually agree with James because it would be a great storytelling. I mean, you can finally explain Khan
Yeah.
besides some random
Gone!
dude in fine Corinthian leather.
Yeah.
Um,
you really don't agree with me here, Ryan? You're just like
Look,
nitpicking
I'm not
bitch.
that much of a Star Trek nerd.
I don't think he knows what
I'm
it is.
not that much of a Star Trek nerd.
Yeah, I mean, was that something they went into in Wrath of Khan or what?
No, they've always hinted to it through every single Star Trek series.
Yeah, they always talk about it. It's the dark side, you know. It's the history they don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It was, pretty much say it was the bloodiest war of all time.
So wait, was this well in the new timeline that they're? I mean, is that something they could
Yeah.
work into? Because if Khan's already been and come and gone,
Yeah, they could do like a prequel or some crap.
but was it during the time of Kirk and everybody? Because if
It was
not,
before.
then-
It was before Kirk.
It was way before.
yeah. So they're not gonna. No one's gonna give a shit.
See, I don't.
Well, obviously I do, don't I?
See, the problem is, you know, don't, like you said, don't piss off the nerds.
Well, look, that's something that you don't have a whole set aside movie. I mean, there's characters in the Star Wars universe like, oh, everyone wants to know more about Boba Fett or the early years of Han Solo. You know, the Neogenic Wars, that seems like a B story. You know, in the next Star Trek movie, like they flash back to it or something.
Okay. I want you to take like 2 minutes at some point and Google the Neogenics War and then tell me that it's a B idea.
No, I'm not saying there's not some cool shit. I'm saying there's nothing to really it's got to be a whole separate thing that just happens to be in the universe. You know,
I
it's
mean,
like
I'm not expecting Wicked and Trauma to take this over, okay?
But I'm saying it's like doing a movie about Lord of the Rings in the first stage.
And
You know, like there's no.
You mean The Hobbit?
The Hobbit wasn't in the first stage.
No, the first stage, like the
Okay,
actual
yeah, I
first
got
stage.
you now, I got you.
Believe it or not, there's probably more people who would be into that than maybe the Neogenic Wars.
Well, and I'm actually wrong. There are characters that people would know. Definitely, Sauron and Gandalf was OG. You know, and Yeah, so there's a people, but still,
Okay, to dig you out of this
Did
hole.
you snort more
point
pepper?
notwithstanding, you know what I'm saying? Like,
So to drag you out of this the hole a little bit, hopefully.
What?
Have you seen the trailer for The Great Wall starring Matt Damon?
Yes, and I do want to see it.
This was the movie that created quite a bit of controversy by having Matt Damon in it. They said they were whitewashing a Chinese movie.
well, okay, look, to be fair,
'Cause that's not
I've
racist.
got a lot of Asian friends, and they make some damn good points. There's not really a representation, but to me, that's not that's like a Last Samurai thing. It's not a story about the Chinese people where he's supposed to be a Chinese person. You know, it's like Last Samurai where he's like an observer in that thing, and then crazy shit happens, obviously. The ones that I give them like total credit for is stuff like the Doctor Strange, where you have Tilda Swinton playing supposed to be an Asian character.
The one that actually really pisses me off is Scarlett Johansson being the Major in the Ghost in the Shell movie.
Yeah, see, like that's the thing is they have a point. It's like there's not Asian actors out there or something. Like how do you do that?
That kind of bugs me. That's like doing Akira and having all the major cast, all the major characters being white. It just doesn't fit.
No, I get you, but I'm just kind of saying, you know, it's not. I mean, I like Ghost in the Shell, but I'm not like fanboy over it.
I've always been a big fan of the Ghost in the Shell.
I know, and you like Bubblegum Crisis and.
So we're gonna
Macross
we're gonna switch to our question that hopefully you remembered. It was only roughly 10 minutes ago. What cartoon, comic / anime would you like to see made live action? Also, who would you like to play their lead? My problem is I don't know who I'd like to play their lead because I've been racking my brain over that for a week. I have some of the movies, and they're somewhat obscure. One being a 1980s anime called The Lensman.
I don't think I know this one.
It was one of the first animes I ever saw back in the early 90s. Sci-Fi Channel used to have what they call Japanimation Sundays, which leads me to the second one, Vampire Hunter D. There's enough novels that you could make an amazing story.
All right.
And the other one, just because I think it'd be fun, would be Static Shock. I don't think.
Okay, but who would you want to play the lead on that one? I mean, there's a lot of options.
I know who would probably end up playing it. Probably Will Smith's kid.
Oh no. No.
But honestly, it probably wouldn't be good, but I'd be totally down to see it. What about you, Ryan? Your turn.
I think the time would be absolutely right for a Swamp Thing movie. I think it was tried. I think somebody tried to do it maybe in the late '80s as a live action.
Swamp Thing was actually a live action TV series because it was a trauma.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of. But I think now would be a great time to do that. I think the obvious choice for a lead would be like Alexander Skarsgård, or Eric Northman from True Blood.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the one that comes to mind because I think he could play the good scientist, and then have that real shitty disposition after he turns into Swamp Thing.
So you want it to be like CG, or would you like it to?
I would prefer sort of the blend. That I think we've kind of gotten well accustomed to.
So
but, I think the technology's there that you can do certain things that just wouldn't be good.
So on Swamp Thing, there's two things. There's Swamp Thing 1982, directed by Wes Craven.
That one sucked, by the way.
And there is also
if we do a timepiece, it was good.
There is a TV show from 1990 to 1993, which I used to watch on the USA Network.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
I thought that was pretty good. I do see a very big comparison to Groot, however.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It always looked. It was like the OG, Incredible Hulk.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the live action show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh man.
I actually
freaked out.
agree. I think it could do fairly well. I don't think
I,
it
I
would
think
do.
I think it's a huge cult character, especially in the comic book world, because the character is a really deep kind of a story. You know what I mean? It was sort of all kind of for love. I mean the love story that's woven through that guy's whole story is something else.
It was definitely deeper than any of the movies or TV shows. Because I've
Alright.
watched
Yeah,
every
oh,
episode
yeah,
of the original
absolutely.
TV
But
show.
I mean, also he's just an incredibly crazy cool character. You know?
So what else do you got? Anything else?
No, you told me to come up with one. What the fuck?
I'm just asking.
I had an honorable
Change the
mention.
parameters of the shit at
Well,
the
I had
end of it.
he pulled honorable mentions last week. That's why he's
Right?
expecting more than one.
That's what I'm saying.
So,
Yeah, I got a couple more I could pull out too.
for me, one that I've always really wanted is I want to see Nee come to life.
Who?
And both of you may not realize what I'm talking about. I'm talking about JTHM.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh.
I thought that's what you were saying.
And
That would be NC-17. There's no way they'd be
And
able to
it
do
Yeah,
took me
I'm trying to think of what that would even look like.
As a
and
matter
it
of fact,
took me
might
a
be
while to
rated
figure out
X.
who I would want to play the lead, because that's a very difficult role to just have somebody do. And the only one I could think of that would even come close to having the look and possibly be able to pull it off is the guy who played Kylo Ren, Adam Driver.
Who would you want directing it?
Johan Vasquez. I wouldn't give that to anybody else but him. You know, I think I would love to see that come to life, and I don't care if it's NC-17. I don't care if it has to be straight to DVD. I would like to see
I was
it.
going to say, you'd be like Triple X. You'd have to see it in some horrible theater in the ghetto somewhere.
You know, I would be down, dude. I would love to see something like that, and I would even be okay if it was like a series of movies, just to tell the whole story.
I think oh man, that's really hard for me to imagine as a live action. We're still talking
Right?
about live action,
Yeah.
right? Because I as an animated thing, I think it would be amazingly huge.
See,
Yeah.
I'm down to see it more animated because I think it would be better.
For the record, I don't know if we even mentioned it. What he's talking about when he said JDHM is Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Yep.
It was a comic book series, God, mid '90s.
Yeah, it came out
Would
through
have been-
Slave Comics.
Yeah, it was some of the most twisted sort of things, but
come
really
on here.
fun,
Give it its due.
fun comic book.
I mean, I'm not expecting Happy Noodle Boy to be in the midst of it either. know.
I mean, see, that's the thing is,
But
I would love to see that like straight up Invader Zim style. You know, the way that he does things.
yeah,
I would rather see it animated. I don't know how well
I
it
don't
would
know.
translate
I mean,
into
I would
live
like to
action.
see how they would try to do it live action if they were
It-
do
it-
it justice
it- it
do
end
it
up-
justice.
It
though.
end up looking like the Flintstones. I mean, that's how they do it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
one to
kind of how
one.
I'm thinking of it too.
I just don't think. Well, let me revise
But
that. If
think
they
about
filmed
it.
it like Trauma style,
No, but
I
think
think it would work.
But I'm talking like something like where they made it transferable, like they did Gantz. I think they did justice in bringing Gantz to live action, but it was the Japanese who did it.
Gantz has a story I think that would translate. I don't know if Johnny the Homicidal Maniac would translate as well.
But I mean, the goofiness of some of the things they pulled off in Gantz. I mean, Samurai X, I don't think they did as good of justice to as they did with Gantz.
No, I definitely agree. That movie, well, it wasn't awful. It wasn't all that good.
It wasn't all that good, but there were still parts I was enjoying watching somebody get smacked upside the head with a reverse blade sword. And I do have an honorable mention. Now, I'm only talking about the first portion of the series. I'm not talking... I don't know how they would even come close to doing the backside of the story, but Berserk. And who I would like to pull that off is Joseph Bana. I don't know if you guys know who that is. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger's son through his maid.
It's the yeah.
I mean, he's got the ability to look like Guts and to wield a sword like
Honestly,
that.
I think telling the first part of the story you're talking about before.
I'm talking about
before
when,
Griffith goes crazy.
Yeah,
right?
the Band of the Hawk. I want to see the Band of the Hawk come out like that. Because after that, when Griffith goes crazy, I don't know how they would pull that off.
Oh, see, I want them to do both. It should be 2 movies because the
I
first.
would think they'd have to break it up into
Well, see,
three
my
acts.
first thought is the first movie's that it's just a typical action movie, hack and slash. Then it turns into a horror movie. That just I
Well, you
I think
forgot
if they
about
do
the
it
S&M
well-
part.
yeah, true. But I actually think they could. I think they could do it well.
I think they could.
I think
too.
it'd be easier than your first pick, by the way.
I agree,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
but I want to see JTHM unmovable stuff. I mean,
Yeah,
Okay, get a-
I would love to see because look, the same guy did Invader Zim. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the exact same
and he also
mind.
did
that
the
created
Diaries
Johnny.
of Lenore, which I haven't read yet,
See,
and Squeak.
I think it would be very awesomely translated. I mean, fucking Netflix, pick that shit up.
Right?
it would
I
be
think more people. I agree. More people need to know about that.
it definitely. I really don't think Johnny the Homicidal Maniac would make a good live action movie. Do I think they could do it? I do. I don't think they would do justice to it because
Yeah,
What if
because-
Guillermo del Toro directed?
I think so much of it would get lost in the style change. You know, that would inevitably happen.
I want to see him rip somebody's skull open with those meat hooks like that.
and it would do. I think
See, he's just a pedophile. He's human and
you
flesh and
see,
blood
with
and
with
bones.
animation, I think it would lend itself better to the rich, odd thing it is.
Yeah. But I was
Yeah,
still
but
like,
definitely needs to be done. You know, in the moving pictures.
Yeah. But still, I think Berserk. I'm not so sure about the third act because there is 3 acts to Berserk. There's the origin of the Band of the Hawk, then there's the battle of the Band of the Hawk where the Griffin's downfall, and then there's the final act where he goes God mode.
See,
basically.
this is why I think. Are you talking about God mode? Are you talking about the newer
Yeah,
stuff?
when he transfers into
Oh, okay.
the actual
I would-
demon god or whatever.
The black guy. Oh, the Black
You know what I'm
Knight.
talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I actually think if they did that in 2 movies,
I think it needs 3
I see, because I think what they would do
because
is,
they would go into the Black Swordsman.
well, see, my thought is if you do that, what they would do is they would have.
Or you could do Phantasm and go 8.
Oh dear God! I think they could do it. I actually think it would be easy to do. I think the problem is there's not much call for that.
Yeah, I understand. But I mean that's one. I mean look at that's Bana. I mean he would pull off guts. He could
Oh yeah,
do it.
he's the same size as Arnold.
Yeah. So I mean he could do it. I really hope he is a better actor than Arnold. I haven't really seen him do anything.
Well, part
I
of
don't think he is an actor.
Arnold's problem is his accent.
Yeah, and he's got no real facial expressions except for screaming.
Pretty much.
You know,
And,
I mean that's really it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for Jonathan Charney, James Stevens, and Ryan Preston, as always, thank you for watching.
Goodbye.
Thank you.